is Hollywood has a way, just like jail, of making hell seem like a place that's really not, it's not that bad. You know, if this is what ends up, this is one example. This is a show that's entitled Lucifer. They don't even hide it anymore. They don't call it something that's in between, and then they reel you in and you find out that it's not of God. They just put it right out there in the open. We want you to watch a show called Lucifer. And we're going to hire this handsome actor, and he's smooth and he's debonair. And the basis of the show, never watched it before, but the basis of the show is that I believe he goes on and he has a sense of remorse for one woman or one person's situation, and he has this remorse, and then he begins to say to himself, well, maybe me too, maybe I can be forgiven too. And so he has this almost likable personality that is taking place with Lucifer as the protagonist. And so as a result, you watch the show and you start thinking to yourself, yeah, man, Lucifer in that show is pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He's all right. Jesus Christ in heaven. Hollywood has this way of making things seem not quite as bad as they actually are. Listen, the reality is there's a comic book hero. His name is, and they don't sugarcoat it, his name is Hellboy. Some of y'all saw the movie. Don't tell on yourself. His name is Hellboy and looks downright satanic. And once again, Hellboy is a protagonist who is on the earth, and he's been raised by human beings. Don't ask me how. I don't know. I'm not a comic book junkie. I don't know his whole backstory, but he's raised by human beings, and so he has this likable personality, and he fights for good. He is not a villain in any way, shape, or form. He is a good guy, and in his movies and in the comic books, he's a protagonist. Hellboy, straight from the pits of hell. And kids watch it, and they read it, and they begin to say to themselves, man, Hellboy is cool. He's all right. He's all right with me. And this may sound real pastorish, but I'm telling you, you got to be careful, because a whole lot happens in the subconscious and a whole lot happens in the spirit. When you say, I'm going to take some time and open up a comic book called Hellboy, from a demon that comes out of hell that is made into a protagonist, that is a likable protagonist, I'm going to spend some time reading that, or I'm going to spend some time watching the movie Hellboy. What you're saying in the spirit is, hey, devil, let's hang out for a while. I want to spend some time with you. I want to be entertained by you. I want to see you as likable. Hollywood has a way of pulling the wool over your eyes if you're not careful, and the wool over our children's eyes if they're not careful. And then you wonder why it seems like things aren't right in your household, why you keep arguing with you and your wife. You argue about nothing so much you start arguing about what you are arguing about, and you can't figure it out. And there seems to be, every time you get a little bit of surplus in your finances, something in your house breaks, and it goes in and it goes right out the door, and you can't figure out why these things keep happening. Because you have opened the door. Pastor Kirsch just taught this on Wednesday night. You open the door and say, come on in, hang out with me for a while. You think the devil leaves just because you press power on the television? You think he leaves when you close the comic book and put it to the side and he says, all right, I'll leave you alone now? Or do you think he says, thank you for the invitation?